Hi Stampers, it's Diane Roberts here to show you a quick tip on two-step stamping. Yes, today is Thursday and it was Pals Paper Arts Challenge Day, and if you saw my card that I submitted for today, it was this. It was a color challenge and we had to use the Wisteria Wonder, Night of Navy, and Smoky Slate, which is what I used. I used a stamp set called Field Flowers, and Field Flowers is a two-step stamping set. The reason I'm going over it today, all you seasoned stampers know what this is all about, but it took me, as I keep mentioning that I'm a relatively new stamper, it's taken me a long time to learn techniques, and this was one of the things that took me a real long time to learn. I could understand the concept of it being two steps because I had a two-step stamp. What I didn't know is that you use two different colors of ink. I was doing things in two steps but using the same color each time. I wasn't getting very far, and I wasn't getting the concept, of course, until I saw a demo do it. So I thought it's always good to pass along what you know for those people who might be watching who don't know yet. So this is Field Flowers, as I said, two-step stamping set. And another good thing about one of these Stampin' Up sets, when you can get an image along with some sentiments for your stamp set, I call it a bargain. I think it's really great to get the flowers and the sentiments because you can mix and match these flowers with other stamp sets. But if you only have one stamp set, you've got two different sentiments here, or one could be inside and outside. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, but when you get sentiments and an image, it's cool. And those are the kind of stamps I like to use over and over again because you get a lot of mileage. They're very versatile. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, I'm going to show you how the two-pot stamping works. I showed you my card. And what I did was I took a piece of Smoky Slate that was 2 1/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches, put my image on that, and then I layered the other colors that were part of the challenge in order to get this card. I changed up my sentiment and decided not to put it here and to do a little side with love here because I just wanted to fill up this side of the card. That's why I also did some scoring. You can see I did 1/4 inch scoring around just to give it just to dress it up a bit because it is it's a simple card. Okay, so let me show you what two-step stamping is all about. What I've done is I've gone ahead and stamped the stem. I've stamped the stem, which is only a one-pot stamp situation, in the Night of Navy. I'm going to recreate what I made on my card today, and I'm doing it in white because I think it may be easier for you to see. Field Flowers is the set. Okay, so here it is. I've stamped the image. It's a clear mount set, and I've stamped the stem here. I'm going to bring this stamp set back again for a minute to show you. Here are the flowers. A little flower goes here on this stem, or not necessarily. You could put 2 big flowers, or you could make this the small flower, etc., etc. It's whatever you want. I've been choosing to put the big flower here and the little flower here. So we have 2 big and 2 small. And you'll notice that if we're looking at the 2 larger flowers, the darker image, the darker stamp image, is actually step 1 of the process. And the lighter stamp image is step 2 of the process. However, when you're stamping step 1, you use your lighter color, and step 2, you use the darker color. So the way I remember it is just, if the stamp image is dark, make that color light. And if the stamp image is light, make that ink color dark. So I'll show you what all my gibberish is about. And excuse my voice, I've been sick this week with a cold, and it doesn't seem to want to go away. Okay, so here's my darker image, and here's my lighter image. This is going to be step 2. This is going to be step 1. Now, the challenge this week was Wisteria Wonder and Night of Navy. Wisteria Wonder is one of the subtles the Subtle collection. I'll show you. Oops. Subtle collection, so it's a lighter color. We will take the darker image stamp and ink up. The darker image stamp is inked up with the lighter image ink. And I'm going to use that as step 1 on this larger flower stem. So there we have it. I've placed the Wisteria Wonder lighter subtle ink on the top part of the stem. So now I take the lighter colored image and ink it up with the darker colored ink. This is the Night of Navy, which is, it's not exactly navy blue, but it's on the navy blue side. Now what we're going to try to do is line up this image with the image we've already stamped. Oftentimes, I mean, if you used your Stamp-A-Ma-Jig, you'd probably be able to get it nice and even. But I'm just going to eyeball it, because sometimes if it's a little off, it kind of looks nice. It looks a little artsy sometimes. Okay, so now I've done the darker image on the lighter color. And there you have it. You can see the darker image as part 2 on top of the lighter Wisteria Wonder. So I'm going to repeat the same for the little bud, the little stamp here. So here's the darker image going with the lighter color of Wisteria Wonder and stamping that on the small stem. And then taking the lighter image, stamping it up with the darker Night of Navy and stamping it right over the original image. And there you have it. It looks so beautiful, doesn't it? I think it just looks so nice. And it's really simple. Okay. The other thing I wanted to show you, which is just a carryover of the same two-step stamping, but how to do it with just one image. One color. Here I've already inked up the stem in, I've used Pear Pizzazz. Let me clean these off real quick. I'm going to clean off the big stamp, and I'll just do it for the big size, so that you can get an idea of what I mean by just using one color ink. Here's Rose Red, Stampin' Up! Rose Red, and it's the only color we'll use. However, we know that we're going to use the darker image for the lighter color. And I've talked about this before in a previous video. What we're going to do is use Rose Red as the only color, but we're going to stamp off the Rose Red so that the first image is much lighter than the second image. So here's step 1. I'll stamp it up. I've got ink. I've got the ink on the darker image, and I'm going to stamp off once, stamp off twice, and then go in and stamp for the third time. And there you have a very nice, lighter, subtle color of the Rose Red. Now we take the second step and we're going to ink it up with the Rose Red. No stamping off this time, just stamp over that original image like so. And how pretty is that? Whoops, I got to see where, I think I got a little ink on my edge. Well, that doesn't matter, because I know you guys, that won't happen to you guys. But how pretty it is. It's a tone on tone. Just love it. So I hope that was helpful in telling you what two-step stamping is all about. Thanks for stopping by, and happy stamping.